Is there anyone here who can swear? But for God, she has nothing to fear. She has nothing to hide.
Number 10. Eric Von Detten.
Grove controls our minds with what they teach us, but you know what? They're not satisfied with that. I think Grove should dump the uniforms and we have casual dress all year round!
Good-looking Von Detten played Princess Mia's crush in the film.
See you on the waves.
Okay.
Eric got his start on Days of Our Lives in the early 90s and has appeared in a few films, some TV shows, and a number of made-for-TV movies over the years. But ironically, this good-looking man is maybe best known for his work as a voice actor. Most notably, Sid in Toy Story and Toy Story 3.
Let's go home and play.
Eric was last seen on screen in 2008 in an episode of Bones, and was last heard on screen in 2010 in Toy Story 3. These days, he's working at his most important job, being a dad. Eric's wife gave birth to their first child in 2019, and is currently pregnant with their second. Number 9. Caroline Goodall.
So the future of your country is in the hands of my 15-year-old?
Goodall played Mia's mom in The Princess Diaries. Goodall had been acting since the late 70s, and in the 90s she had roles in some of the biggest films of the decade, from Hook to Schindler's List.
Promise me, Oscar, no dual man or maitre d' will ever presume I'm anyone other than Mrs. Schindler, and I'll stay.
She has continued to work consistently in the 2 decades since The Princess Diaries release as well. She's appeared in various movies and TV shows, including another royalty-titled project, the White Queen miniseries back in 2013.
Your daughter could never be royal. She's not my choice.
Her face is one that pops up frequently, delighting Princess Diaries fans every time it does. Number 8. Robert Schwartzman.
Why me?
Because you saw me when I was invisible.
Schwartzman played Michael Moskowitz, one of Mia's best friends in the film, and he has continued to do some acting in the following decades as well. But his main focus has been music and his band Rooney, named after Ed Rooney, the principal in the film Ferris Bueller's Day Off. The band has released 4 albums in the ensuing decades, and has seen some decent chart success. Schwartzman also made his directorial debut in 2016, directing his brother, Jason Schwartzman, in Dreamland.
If this is how much you have now, you would need like this much in every direction cubically, that much more.
He has directed more pictures since then, including The Argument in 2020.
In an important sequence, a great sequence, so tense and scary, so visceral, and still just a touch melancholy if you think about it.
Number 7. Sandra Oh.
Gupta.
The Queen is coming to Grove High School.
Born in Ontario, Canada to Korean parents, Sandra Oh has been acting in film and TV since the late 80s. Her star status took a major leap forward in the 2000s, although not because of her role as Vice Principal Gupta in The Princess Diaries.
Here's your tea, Your Majesty. I'm sorry we don't have finer china.
Oh, that's perfectly all right. Here.
Her big break came 4 years later, when she was cast as Dr. Christina Yang on Grey's Anatomy, a role she would play for 10 seasons.
I have to finish something here.
She achieved even more acclaim from her work on Killing Eve, for which she's been nominated for the Best Actress in a Drama Emmy, the first woman of Asian descent to be so recognized.
If there is a way of saying a possibility to a young girl, you can do this, you can be a part of culture in this way, I feel I hope to be a part of that.
Number 6. Hector Elizondo.
You can call me Joe.
Joey?
No, Joe.
As soon as Gary Marshall signed on to direct The Princess Diaries, you could have bet your house that Hector Elizondo would have a role in the film. That's because Elizondo had a role in every single feature film Marshall ever directed. Yep, all 18 of them.
It must be difficult to let go of something so beautiful.
In fact, after Marshall's final film Mother's Day, Elizondo wasn't seen on the big screen for several years, although he did voice Jim Gordon in the Lego Batman movie during that period.
Nobody calls you that. Don't, not now. Yes, people do call me that.
Hector has been a very busy presence on the small screen, though, including a regular role in the Tim Allen sitcom Last Man Standing.
I mean, you win wars with boots on the ground, Mike. Boots, not high heels.
Number 5. Mandy Moore.
Mia, you're such a freak!
Yeah, I am. But you know what? Someday I just might grow out of that. But you will never stop being a jerk.
Vanna got cone.
Prior to her role as the mean girl Lana Thomas in The Princess Diaries, Mandy Moore had risen to stardom as a singer. She'd released 2 albums before appearing in the film, with her 1999 debut So Real going platinum. However, after The Princess Diaries, Mandy's acting career took off.
You have to promise you won't fall in love with me.
That's not a problem.
Moore starred in A Walk to Remember in 2002, and since then has been in a number of films and TV shows. Moore has also done animation voice work, including the voice of Rapunzel in Disney's Tangled franchise.
This is a very big day, Pascal.
Currently, she stars in the hit NBC show This Is Us, for which she's been nominated for both a Golden Globe and a Primetime Emmy.
I was trying to remember myself tonight, Jack. The person I used to be, and then I started remembering you too.
Number 4. Heather Matarazzo.
Wait up! Wait for me! Not you! I don't even know you!
Prior to her role as Mia's friend Lily in The Princess Diaries, Matarazzo won an Independent Spirit Award for Best Debut Performance in the 1995 dark comedy Welcome to the Dollhouse.
Dignity is an important quality everyone should have.
Louder!
That way you will never gray grub.
And in the late 90s, she played Heather on 4 episodes of Roseanne. Since The Princess Diaries, Matarazzo has continued to act in TV and movies. In 2004, she reprised her role of Lily Moscovitz in The Princess Diaries 2 Royal Engagement.
Lily Moscovitz, official best friend of future queen. I don't like you.
Pleasure.
And more recently, you may have seen her in the films Billboard and The Estate.
We have lawyers here from the city that need to see you now. What did you do?
In 2018, Matarazzo married her girlfriend, writer and comedian Heather Turman. Number 3. Chris Pine.
I loathe you.
I loathed you first.
We aren't saying that Chris's role as the love interest Nicholas Devereaux in The Princess Diaries 2 is what made him a star, but it was his feature film acting debut, and he has since gone on to become a genuine movie star. So, you decide.
I don't believe in no-win scenarios.
From Captain Kirk in the rebooted Star Trek film universe, to roles in both Wonder Woman movies and many films in between, Chris Pine has made his mark.
I am above average.
He was also the voice of Peter Parker in the highly regarded Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
We don't really talk about this. Look, I'm a comic book, I'm a cereal, did a Christmas album, I have an excellent theme song, and a so-so popsicle.
With more Star Trek films a possibility and films like Dungeons & Dragons, Chris Pine is going to be a force in film for a long time.
Well, how can one rule the people if they do not know the people?
Number 2. Julie Andrews.
A queen is never late. Everyone else is simply early.
The wonderful Julie Andrews had a very impressive film career dating back over 35 years prior to her role as Queen Clarice Rinaldi in The Princess Diaries.
Shut up!
I beg your pardon? Shut up.
Andrews burst onto the scene with her Oscar-winning performance in her first film, Mary Poppins, in 1964.
Mary Poppins, practically perfect in every way.
Then in 1965, she was nominated again for another iconic role, Maria in The Sound of Music.
The hills are alive with the sound of music.
A third nomination followed for the 1982 film Victor Victoria. Since The Princess Diaries, Andrews has been doing a lot of voice work. You may have heard her as Gru's mom in the Despicable Me movies.
Or was it a villain who's actually successful?
More recently, she has provided the voice of the narrator, Lady Whistledown, on the Netflix series Bridgerton.
My name is Lady Whistledown. You do not know me, and rest assured you never shall. But be forewarned, dear reader, I certainly know you.
Number 1. Anne Hathaway.
See, if I were Princess of Genovia, then my thoughts and the thoughts of people smarter than me would be much better heard, and just maybe those thoughts could be turned into actions.
The Princess Diaries was a big hit back in 2001. The film only cost about $26 million to make, and it ended up making more than $165 million worldwide. The movie not only made a lot of money, it also made Anne Hathaway famous. Her star continued to rise with roles in The Devil Wears Prada, The Dark Knight Rises, and her Oscar-winning performance in Les Miserables.
I had a dream my life would be so different from this hell I'm living.
She starred in 2 films that came out in 2020, as well as the new Doug Liman heist film Locked Down. That last one was filmed in London when the city was in COVID-19 lockdown, which explains the title.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Just your face is frozen with this look of exasperation.
Because someone's gonna have to go into Harrods and pack the valuables up.
The Queen of Genovia is doing just fine.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from MsMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.